Kandra, Hobgoblin Warlock. Day 3 of Kissing Booth Escort. Today we gained a traveling companion. Satchel, our Underdark contact, has taken an interest in the band. Odd, he never struck me as a music fan, but I guess people can be full of surprises. Today, I guide them through the final forest before the mountain stronghold. The Fluffyfoot positions are marked in my memory, and I'm sure I can guide the band through a route that won't attract any unpleasant attention. They're a surprisingly competent traveling group for a bunch of bards, especially that rhythm section. That guy packs a wallop. Hopefully they don't attract the boss's attention too much, though, or things are apt to get gross. Like don't listen if you're under the age of 18 gross, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, I'm sure it'll all be fine. What's the worst that could happen, right?
Yes, okay. Are we ready to take off? I have a question. I have everything in order on my side.
Don't forget the question.
I have it written down this time.
Oh!
I also have written down an intro because I was like, you know what? If I don't write it down, I'll never get to it. But I decided we could workshop it live, so I went with first thought, best thought, and then just never went back to it. And I thought that would be a good way to do this. So hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dungeons, Drive-Ins, and Dice, or Wider World. This season, a D&D podcast about 4 wayward adventurers out to rescue some goblins and figure out what is wrong with Wilhelm's Hole. I'm Im, and I play Haribo Tamagotchi, changeling artificer not of this world. Currently, he's half-elf Haribo. Yeah,
workshopping. I wasn't taking a drink.
Workshopping wise, we can I don't know if you guys have any notes to change it for next time, but that one is where we're starting.
Nah, perfect, leave it.
I suggest a change in the name of the podcast. As is. I think this podcast is now called Wilhelm's Hole.
Cool.
Hello everyone, okay. Welcome to Wilhelm's Hole.
Welcome to Wilhelm's Hole. Okay, question of the episode. What is the good life according to you and your character? Like, everyone's working towards having like that life. Like, what is that to you and your character? For me, it is living in nature, surrounded by lots of nature. A house that I can do things to and build on, that would be cool. And yeah, just to be with my wonderful partner. Incredible. My good life is, maybe I do some art. Yeah. I mostly thought of this for Haribo, or for the characters, because I'm interested in like where that sits with our characters, but I figure we can answer it too. Haribo, if you were to ask Haribo right now, I think without thinking, he would say that he is living the good life right now. He is like very pleased with his life. He's like stressed out about all the little bullet points that he's got to take care of, the quests and stuff. But I think before, he realized that like, oh shit, I'm trying to get home, and like that is my goal. He would think like, oh, this is the good life. This little house on the hill. He's got a connection forming with, stewing
Minerva.
With, Minerva, yes. I could not think of another name but Margery, and it wasn't the right name. In town.
No, it was not.
And I knew it was an M name, some old M name. Anyway, so then maybe he would have a think about that.
You make it sound like your life in space wasn't very good.
My life in space was, I don't know. I think if I were to think about it like long term, Haribo's life in space was the point in life in which he was like learning, right, about what he truly wanted. Because like, if you ask a kid what they want to be when they, grow up, that is very different than what I feel like the same kind of question is like, what's the good life to you? As an adult, though. And
but he was an adult in space.
He was an adult in space for sure, but I think he was in that phase of like learning how to be an adult. Young 20s, you're still like learning what you are,
old 20s,
what you want out of life. Young to old 20s is a phase of life in which you are, and around there, trying to figure out what you want out of life. For many people, at least for Haribo. So maybe he was learning that there, but now that he has been living this life here, maybe that would have slipped up for him, that this is what that life is building for. Like, if you could get a little home on a nice place, nice planet, good people, like, isn't that what all that's for anyway?
So, hi, yeah. My name is Lawrence, and I play the wayward bard Sparkleoneous. As far as what would be the good life for me, it's just a life of unscheduled nonsense. I like having a free, open schedule with plenty of time to do activities. Mostly, for me, hobbies. I just love getting down on hobbies and spending several hours all in a row just doing the same thing for the whole time. Love it, love it, love it. Love free time. For Sparkleoneous, I think it's much the same. Sparkleoneous enjoys the novel adventure, and he certainly has continually found himself in one with this group of misfits. Yeah, free time with the novel, with lots of time to spend on one thing, but with the novel adventure here and there.
If I recall, Sparkleoneous' last dice roll to do like episode mission was about hobbies anyway.
Yep.
He's really trying to get that hobbies in.
Yeah, Sparkleoneous is learning how to whittle so that he can cook for himself. Whittle cook.
Right. Okay. Yeah. It took me a second.
I eat wood.
My name is Grace Stringer, and I play Margery Ridgeback, who is the cleric, but with necromancing tendencies. And me, Grace, kind of the same vein, I think I want like a slow, nice life where, you know, I have a job, but it doesn't demand too much of me that I can't have time for my animals in my life or my hobbies. I want, you know, like a backyard where I can grow plants and maybe a porch swing and a room just for my books and, you know, animals and maybe, you know, someone to share that life with. It's very simple, but somehow it seems so hard to achieve. And Margery, that's a good question.
Mother poisoned my concept of the beautiful space that I used to want to spend my life. The movie Mother with the exclamation point.
Oh, I thought you were talking about your mom. I was like, oh.
No, not my mother. I don't call her mother, and that would be a wild way for me to say that in the podcast to other human beings.
I was like, whoa, this is kind of mother poisoned me. I'm like,
no,
no.
Mother poisoned me. That's
A24 mother.
A24 mother poisoned me.
Ooh.
You know? No.
Gabe told me not to watch it, and then I watched it anyways, and I wish I hadn't watched it.
We're warned.
It hurts the sensitivities.
You were right. The vibes were off. I am quite sensitive to vibes.
Where you live.
Yeah, it does in your house with as house guests that you can't get out. It's terrible.
Anywho, Margery, right now, she's in the phase of, you know, wanting to get the respect of her mentors, her kind of mentor, Zogmoth, and, you know, get to maybe the point that I could be at Zogmoth's level, but also enjoying my ferret. So
wait a second. Hold on. Are you telling me the good life for Margery is becoming a powerful lich?
Well, you know, the idea of having power is that, you know, you're safe and that no one can get you. And if you're an urchin, you're always on the move. And who knows, maybe as the adventure goes on, I'll learn that it was what I learned along the way. That's you know, who knows?
Okay. Cool.
That's what I've got right now.
I don't know who is harder to travel with, the Gray Man or Margery, but we will find out soon.
And I am Michael. I play Thaddeus Ofkoot, the Dwarven fighter. I will start with Thaddeus. Thaddeus is living his best life right now. He's just come off of another brawl victory. So he's at the pinnacle of his existence. Long term, he would probably like to end up like the Lord he serves now, to be in charge of things, and he can tell other people to go do other things. So that's
have his own little village.
That's right. So that's his long-term vision. Michael, as the player, my goal would be I want to live out in the woods somewhere with a piece of property where I don't have to see or engage with any other human beings aside from my family group, with a barn and a garage that I can putter around in and do as I please and not have to see another human being unless I feel like it.
Yeah. Total isolation in the woods. Honestly, I love it.
Man, we're all kind of... we like the quiet hobby life.
Because, ew, people.
Too much noise distracts me from my hobbies.
And I'm Theodore Stringer, Game Master and the man behind everybody else.
Ah, he's behind me.
Haha! Didn't see that coming, did you?
That was a good bit.
Let's see. Satchel is living his best life right now. He's making deals. He's making people uncomfortable. Things are good for him. I can't say I think about this too much. I don't know. I really don't particularly have an answer to what that looks like.
Hell yeah. Okay. Where you need to be.
This is the happy life.
Shit.
Yep. When last we met our erstwhile adventurers, they were partying hard and reaping the consequences. Most of us were hungover, and some of us had made bargains that we only sort of remembered. We saw Thaddeus engage in a duel of honor with the chieftain of the goblins, winning a striking victory, and much applause from the goblins, and some dirty looks from the hobgoblins. We saw Sparkleoneous and Haribo both being pretty hungover, and Haribo trying to figure out what he did last night.
I think the only thing he doesn't recall is... Yeah, I drank a little bit of alcohol, and the only thing he doesn't know is who was Thak, which is probably the saddest thing to me, but...
Alas, indeed.
He lost a good friend, Thak.
After Thaddeus' victory, we all sort of felt like the vibes might have been a little off, so we quickly bundled into the wagon and set off. And the last thing that happened was we looked around, and Satchel was also in the wagon. I think the last thing he said was, so, where are we headed?
Satchel, you know where we're headed. We had this conversation last night. We're going to the mountain. You and Kandra can get us through the checkpoints rather quickly, so it's going to help get us on to our final show.
Yeah, Kandra's the map.
I drank that disgusting nut juice all morning, and I had coffee in here the whole time.
But it woke you right up, didn't it?
No, it was just bitter. Kandra was entirely right. It was just bitter and hot.
All right. So we set off in the morning. Start off with like a couple hours in the wagon, headed through the forest towards the mountain. How are the vibes in the wagon? How is everybody interacting? Because now we have Satchel here in the wagon. We all pretending to be a band? Are we making chit chat? Is it just weirdly quiet?
Hey, Margery, I noticed that you weren't sleeping too well. Do you have having any dreams or anything? I have dreams sometimes, but I usually don't remember them when I wake up.
Well then, how would I know if I'm having dreams if I don't remember them?
Do you not remember them?
That's more of a question for you, I think. Do you have dreams that you remember? Or visions,
Sometimes.
Perhaps?
Sometimes.
Alright.
Marjorie's not saying anything in front of what's-his-nuts.
Haribo is just fiddling with his belt, wide-eyed, looking down at his belt.
I'd like to make an insight check on Margery.
Dreams that you can remember are important.
Leave me alone!
His tiny little screwdriver snaps, and he picks out a different one quietly and just keeps working.
I've got
I didn't say that. I didn't say that out loud.
Margery.
I just... What do I have to do?
Yeah, Margery, if you have dreams that you can remember, that's important.
Is Margery a bad liar? Like, is it obvious that you're trying to lie about this?
Well, is there something that I have to roll? My intention is to not say anything in front of this guy, because I don't know him. I'm not telling him anything.
I'm just making small talk.
You can make a deception roll if you'd like.
I rolled a 16.
So that's 17.
Slick as hell.
Yeah, I sometimes have weird dreams about the things I've seen, the cities, but other than that, it's just shapes and images, not a lot of detail.
Oh, I can't use shapes and images for music.
Are you writing a song about people's dreams?
I could write a song about your dreams. What kind of dreams do you have? I'm sorry, I don't know if we've been fully acquainted. I'm Sparkleoneous.
The
You
names...
might have seen me eating a ladder yesterday.
I did indeed. The whole town saw it. It's hard not to, and that goblin was up high on there.
An incredible
Yeah, that was quite a bit of fun.
Well, I'm from the Underdark, so I'd say my dreams are fairly dark. Not a lot to see down there.
Do you dream in dark vision? I can dream, but only 60 feet in front of myself.
A slow smile creeps across his face, and he says, "Why, yes, I do."
Okay.
And then Kandra says, "Oh, hold up. Hey, whoa, Stu. Whoa, hold up." She's looking down the road, and across the stretch of road are a whole bunch of the golden fuzzy foot strands. And she says, "Oh, they've moved these up. I'm not familiar with these ones."
Uh-oh.
Ah, dip.
Damn. And you sure this is the fastest path to the mountain, Kandra?
It's not the only path, but it is the fastest. And you guys, I would say, make checks. Perception, nature, survival.
What's our goal here, Kandra? Just to like weave between them, or what? What's the? I do see the strands. I'm just curious as to if they know we're passing through here. Is it truly a problem if we alert the spiders of our presence?
Depends if these are alert strands or attack strands, if you know what I mean.
I'd rather not find out.
I rolled a nat 20 on survival, and I know I've got like a big plus to that as well.
Doesn't matter,
Damn.
not 20.
Yeah, okay.
Woo!
I
Nat
rolled
20.
a 15 on survival, so the nat 20 definitely trumps that.
Yeah, I got a 21 on. Let's go general perception, because I don't know what we're supposed to do with these strands. So I'm just gonna look around the area for other things I should be alert to.
And Sparkleoneous is going to keep a watchful eye over the Gray Man. Sparkleoneous rolled a 15 for a Gray Man watch investigation, maybe.
All right. Interesting. Let's see.
Gotta keep an eye on him. He's wily.
Gotta keep an eye
Yeah,
on
he
him.
showed up. He showed up in our wagon unprompted. So who knows if he'll just leave and then we
We did
won't know
not.
where he
I'll
went.
say that we did not check the blankets before we took off, but
A Gray Man in the pocket is worth more than a Gray Man in the bushes.
in the blankets
Gotta keep an eye out of those blankets and in our pockets.
and in our
Um,
pockets.
Let's see. With your perception, Haribo, you notice that while the strands appear random, I think you maybe stand up on the driver's bench there so you can sort of look down on them a little bit, and they seem from above much more geometrically laid out than it first looks from dead on. Thaddeus, with your survival, you recall from the Fuzzyfoot tour, they mentioned that they had to keep the sorcerer cadre away from the Fuzzyfoots because of the conductivity of the threads, and like the wild magic of the sorcerers would occasionally just absolutely fry one of these spiders.
Oh, did I?
Because they sit on a big bundle of these threads.
Yeah.
And then Margery, with your survival, you're peering around, and I perhaps should have swapped these results around for the different numbers, but here we go anyways. You're peering around, and you see, like about 20 feet back in the trees through a gap between some branches, you see a golden glint, and squinting at it, you can make out that it is a fuzzyfoot spider based on the description, but this one is only perhaps 3 feet in diameter, and it is sitting against a large tree trunk on top of a bundle of these threads that are stretched out across the road.
Ooh, okay.
Can we quietly share all this information just to
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Cool.
You're all
Whisper,
you're on the
whisper.
wagon.
star wipe? Anyway,
Oh boy, those are very loud.
is this spider any different than the ones Thaddeus and I were looking at in the camp? The ones I assume would be alert spiders.
This one is a fifth the size, I think, to start out, and since it's not like in an enclosure,
Like a
it's
decoy
quite
tree
possible that it's more like hunting than alerting. Like, who is it going to tell?
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Thaddeus might mention to Haribo, doesn't your belt do some of that conductivity stuff that they mentioned during our tour?
I've got an ability for this, but I look at Satchel and I say, didn't you bring these spiders to the goblins themselves? These come from the Underdark, I imagine.
I did indeed, but I only brought and trained the adults. These are juveniles. I can't say that I recommended to the Goblin War Chief to disseminate them into the wild in this way, but
Any
Are they
tips
an
and or
invasive species?
tricks?
They
look
sure
to be
don't
invading right now.
They
Yeah.
sure don't come from around here. That's
Invaded
that's
this
the
path
truth.
pretty heavily.
Their natural habitat is down in the tunnels. They use the glimmer of their golden pedalipaps to lure critters to their doom.
Does he look worried, or does he just look Jay chillin'?
He looks a little nervous. This is not the recommended use case for these things. They're not supposed to be living landmines.
Do you
Is
think
it
the goblins are going to be upset if we fry this one?
Not till they find it. And woe betide any regular old goblin that's gonna find one of these out in these woods.
What would be the standard running order for something like this? You know, if this happens and you or the chief himself need to pass through here, like, what would be the standard running order? Do we fry this thing?
Yeah, I mean that would be the way to go about it. If it was the chief, he'd probably have his war guard cut him down if they were in his way and he needed to get there fast. If it was just me, I'd probably go around.
Take a different path, right?
Mm-hmm. I just wouldn't go this way.
Well,
like Mr. Satchel said, it's not like this spider's gonna tell anybody else.
I mean, we saw back at the campfire a couple nights ago, both you and I can produce electricity, so why don't we combine our efforts and fry this spider and move on?
And I'm gonna stay right over here. And Sparkleoneous gets in his pot.
It can't be that bad. The two of us together, this is gonna be easy.
He is still poking his pebbles out at Satchel.
Satchel? Anyone else? Anyone else? Can anyone else produce electricity to help us fry this thing in one quick alley-oop?
I think
Thaddeus will put his hands up and back away.
I think
them
we
the
should
stage.
we should just go around. We should just find another way.
Around takes time, Margery.
Well, who knows where those golden strands go, and if it alerts another spider that we just killed a baby spider, who knows what repercussions that might have.
Using all of our, like, you know, my geometric shapes and her knowing where it's hiding, are we able to tell that this is what they would be alerting if we alerted the thing? Like, is that the bundle they go to?
Yeah, I mean, you got great numbers. There are multiple spiders on this road.
Cool. Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
You guys have spotted one, but like based on the geometric patterns, you can sort of see that the webbing converges in a few different points off of the road.
Can you safely guarantee that we can kill that one, that one, that one, and that one all before they can get us?
I can not, but but Margery, it's the fastest way, and I think that it would behoove us to get this show on the road because we do have benefactors waiting for us back home.
Oh, are you on some kind of timetable?
Somewhat. We owe the earnings from our makes along this tour back to a benefactor that got us started. So
Margery is just staring at Haribo.
Haribo hates lying. He would prefer to just be cool and be up front, but he doesn't like this.
Yeah, someone bought us all of our instruments on the way, so we sort of owe the loan. You know, we had to get an upgrade going. Hey, Satchel, are you good in a scrap in case this all goes south?
We could just fry him spider by spider.
I know a trick or two, sure.
I say we torch those mother effers.
Is this all just echoing from the pot, from inside the pot?
Yep, sure is.
With just pebbles.
Yeah, Sparkleoneous very proudly says, I say we torch those mother effers from the safety of a pot lid.
All right.
You know more about these things than any one of us combined, than all of us combined. I'm curious, is this... I know it's not recommended, but if we're on a timeline, can we get through these spiders, or is this, like, wicked out of our realm?
I mean, you did just beat the chief this morning.
Thaddeus is strong.
That's right.
Undefeated.
2-0 now, damn.
He will be devastated if he loses the next one.
The spider especially.
Well, Kandra, how do you feel about frying some spiders? We have a good dinner tonight if we even if we took our time going down this road. How much much time are we saving? Hold on, actually. How much time are we saving taking this route, Kandra? I did not ask that question. This is the fastest, but is there one like maybe 15 minutes up the road that also gets us there? Just like 15 minutes longer?
I mean, if you swap 15 minutes for, say, 12 hours.
Yeah, let's bone them.
Yeah. Zap them.
Kandra?
All right, let's get these spiders.
You got a way to zap them as well, Satchel? Can you help us with the zaps? And Haribo's hand is zipping.
Unfortunately, I have no zaps in my inventory. I got lots of knives.
Knives. Well, that will help if the zaps do not do as much as I hope they will.
I feel like we're kind of, I mean, this is just player Grace saying, I feel like we're kind of tipping our hand here that we're not just a band if we're willing to and confident in our ability to kill.
Bards got magic. We're all bards.
Yeah.
Are we all bards? Because like
we have to be able to
long...
defend ourselves though too, right? On the road.
As soon as I use my magic, he's gonna know that I'm not a bard. Or
He's
can
just gonna
bards?
think you're the weirdest bard ever.
I'm into grunge.
That's
I guess.
very true. At least like Sparkleoneous' bard magic does come from his music. Mine's gonna come from my belt, but that has been my instrument this whole time. So maybe with some deception checks, I can still pass. You're kind of out of luck. We should have definitely put your holy symbol into your squeeze horn. Made it the handle or something.
Sound comes out of this. What is it? A raven skull?
Gator. It's a little baby gator skull.
With a gator skull on the end of the
Except it's twinged with that
horn or whatever.
with like demon noises every time she squeezes it.
Yeah, I mean, my long distance magic is like a giant bell appears over someone and sometimes they turn into dust.
If you only use
Elves
that
are
spell,
musical.
if you only use that spell, Margery, he'll
I
think
don't
you're a bard.
just
If
the
you
bell
squeeze your
spell.
squeeze horn at
it's
the
a
same
bell.
time, it might look like you're making it happen with the horn.
We have to pretend. We have to struggle to like make it like look like we're barding it up in this moment, but we're
As
saving half a day.
As
Yeah, even with this
is
conversation, we're
happening-
still saving time.
As this conversation is happening, like them.
We have 12 hours to talk about it before it is no longer.
Haribo asking people, Margery is realizing what has to happen and is aging 10 years just internally. But knowing that now, because they're bards, they're going to have to fight these spiders pretending to use bard
As
magic.
bards, yeah. Are you ready to perform, Margery?
I grab my squeeze horn.
It's been a long time since I've seen some vicious mockery.
I've got some words for these spiders for sure.
I'm
Kandra,
more of an
Those words are
acoustic.
zap.
I'm an acoustic bard.
Hell yeah. So Haribo and Kandra, I suppose you guys hop out of the wagon and carefully approach the first sort of concentration of wires. I assume you're going to stay on the road.
yeah. We can go down the road slowly as we do this.
Sparkleoneous is also going to give bardic inspiration to Haribo. He's going to play a little spy tune.
Elmo's World. Anyone? No one? No one knows that
Yeah,
banger?
no,
All right, okay.
no, I heard that.
That's the only song I know.
He loves his
Patently
crayons.
untrue.
And his goldfish, too.
The rest are epics.
This is the first time you've played that song. Joke's
This
on
is
us,
my spider
Sparkleoneous
hunting
doesn't
song.
know
It's
any
my
of the
only
songs.
spider hunting song. All the rest of them I've made up.
They're all improv, yeah.
So yeah, Sparkleoneous plays his jaunty tune and provides bardic inspiration. Is that also your motive potential, or is that a different thing?
Motive potential, yeah, it's all related to bardic inspiration.
Okay.
So
okay.
whatever you roll, I'll tell you what the bonus effect is.
Nice. So I guess you guys assemble here, and Haribo, what are you gonna do?
Kandra, you care to shock and grasp this with me? And I charge up my shock and grasp. I think same time gives the best results in this case if we're trying to fry something using conductivity.
Kandra gets out a medium-sized stave wound about with tassels and different forest bits and bobs. She says, "Well, ready when you are. Hope this isn't treason."
Me too.
Should we be doing this, Kandra? We can go around. It's just 12 hours is a lot of time.
I mean, hopefully they'll understand. I'm pretty sure that if they're just releasing these spiders in here, it's kind of a survival of the fittest.
It's willy-nilly, right?
Yeah.
Are they expensive?
Let's all say they attacked us.
Yes, they were very expensive.
The great Satchel's nodding and like pleased with himself, tossing a bag of gold up and down.
These, however, didn't cost them a dime, as they are juveniles. I don't know why they released the newly hatched spiders into the woods. Perhaps they didn't want to spend all the money feeding them. Perhaps they're thinking of trying to catch the spiders once they've molted a few times.
Not these, I'll say. All right, Kandra,
Well.
here we go.
Oh.
All right, let's do this thing.
What is it?
Is a physical
Melee
attack?
attacks
Like a melee spell?
attack against the target, which in this case is a thread that we can see and is stationary.
It is a stationary thread that's right there. So I think I'm going to set the
don't
AC
use the
on this
bardic
thing at like
inspiration if you can help it.
8.
It won't do anything.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be helpful here. Although I must say, it might be incredibly helpful. Give me one moment. Let's find out my spellcasting modifiers. Is it enough? I don't know. 2 plus. What's my 5? Hey, guess what I got? An 8. Thank you for that incredibly low DC.
Was a stationary thread, but wow, so much
I
work
kind
to
of
clear the
trip
hurdle.
on my way, and I'm like, "No, we got this, Kandra. We got this."
Sweat.
I
is
dust
just
off myself and kind of zap myself. I'm like, "Oh shit! All right, we got this. I promise this is gonna be a breeze." And then I grab it.
Margery is eyeing Stuve and thinking how fast it can just like get out on the Stuve and leave them behind if shit hits the fan.
Stuve is an endurance animal.
Stu is also like tied to the wagon. Just keep
Not
that
a
in
speed animal. Yeah, right.
mind. Okay, well both of you hit with your shocking grasps. Haribo, roll damage.
Oh shit! Yeah. And I didn't even need Bardic Inspiration, although I desperately almost needed Bardic Inspiration. 7 points of damage. Do I add anything? I don't think so. 1d8 lightning damage. All right. 7.
Okay, and she got 2. Okay, so you both put your hands onto the thread and send a big old jolt.
Grippy
For sure,
grabs
for
that
sure.
thing after tripping and embarrassing myself.
You know, it was really close. You tripped. You almost sat down on your butt and zapped yourself, but you grabbed the threads to
I catch
save
myself
yourself
on the
and
threads,
zap it
yeah.
instead.
Yeah.
So very close to failure, but a big old zap up the threads, and you see in the distance it lights up with electricity underneath the spider, and its legs jerk and twitch crazily, and smoke begins to steam out from between its plating.
I look back at my allies and I give a big thumbs up and a big smile. We got this. See? Right?
I'm looking at the other spiders that we know.
And I'm looking at Satchel.
Everyone's looking at something.
Yeah, Thaddeus is watching to see what else is coming at us.
Okay. So, Margery, you're looking at the other spiders. It seems like this time, none of the other spiders were alerted by this zap. Thaddeus, you're watching to see if anything else comes at us, and so you and Haribo and Kandra all see the spider drop from the tree and land on its feet, and it raises itself up and sort of clicker-clacks at you guys, smoke still sort of spilling out from its plating, and then it scuttles into the darkness of the foliage.
All right. That's one taken care of.
Yeah, it took enough damage to fuck clean off. Big no thank you for that spider. And Sparkleoneous, watching Satchel, you see that Satchel has taken out one of his daggers and also like a wineskin looking pouch, and he has unstoppered the pouch and has inserted the dagger into the mouth of the pouch and then withdrawn it, and then restoppers his pouch, and that's what he's been doing.
Do I need to prepare for something more?
I mean, I think we need to go get the next spider, right? Like it's just up this way. Come on, Stuve.
Oh, sure. Now we can move up the path slowly like this. All right, Kandra. I got this all day. Zappy hands going.
Okay. The next one, as you approach it, you see that its threads are much more interwoven with those of the following two spiders.
Well, we are in this already. Can we make checks to spot these spiders and prepare for like a... I think if we get a good surprise on them before we trigger their threads, maybe... I think if we get a good surprise on them, maybe we can scare these away like the others. We can shock a few of these threads, and maybe the rest of us can launch some ranged attacks on the others, and maybe we can wipe our hands of this.
Are all of them juveniles?
I mean, the one that you spotted was, and I think that is the assumption that you are currently working under.
Troubling.
What?
Yeah, what? So I'm gonna try to do a check to spot.
That was an answer without saying anything
I'm
relevant.
gonna try to spot some spiders here.
I spy.
I spy a sketchy dungeon master.
I got an 18 on my sketch check. No, but it's a perception check for spiders.
Yeah, perception checks for everybody. What even Kandra's gonna do.
I
Yeah,
would
she's in
still
this
like
mess
to
now.
maintain my perception check on Satchel, please.
Oh yeah,
15.
love that. Okay.
17 for Thaddeus.
I have a 14, but I don't know what my plus is. I'm assuming it's 1?
You said perception?
Yeah.
+3 for perception.
Oh, hell yeah. So it'll be a 17.
Okay. Okay. 15 watching Satchel, 17 for Margery, 17 for Thaddeus,
Yes.
and Haribo, what'd you get, sorry?
18.
18. Dang. Okay. Kandra rolled a 7, so.
How about Gib? Is he alive?
Oh, yeah. Gib and Barson are also here. So many NPCs.
Help us fun. Oh shit, we're already
Barson's-
out. Oh no.
Yeah.
sits rigid in the driver's seat, just hunched over the reins, ready to bolt as fast as Stuve can carry us. Barson may or may not also be afraid of spiders. Gib is alert and watching the party attentively. Occasionally he glances over at you, Margery, waiting for instructions, I suppose.
Okay.
With your 17s, Margery and Thaddeus, you are able to spot the two nearest spiders. And Haribo, with your 18, you're back up on the bench real quick to have another look at all these webs. And you see a spot where the three spiders' webs are like especially interconnected. Like if you're gonna zap them anyways, you might as well try and get them all.
Just sort of shock and grasp and grab a couple things at one time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or grab
Yeah,
a
grab
bundle.
the whole. Yeah, grab the bundle with all of them involved.
A node, if you will.
A node, if I will.
Kandra,
Yeah,
if we can sneak through the threads and get to that node, I'm sure we could cause quite a ruckus amongst all three of these spiders.
Yeah, that makes great sense. Let's see if we can just ooch our way on through here.
Everyone else, you stay at the ready in case, well, let's be honest, in case I'll mess this up, because I'm not the most dexterous of us, and I hold
Kandra
the moat
also
very
doesn't look
close to
the
me.
most confident about this.
What does Satchel do?
Pulls out another
Satchel-
dagger and dips it.
No, Satchel has his dagger, and Satchel has now hopped out of the wagon and is standing 10 feet from the edge of the road closest to the first spider, like the spider closest to the wagon.
Well, I'm not the one seeing this. Is Sparkleoneous.
Yeah, Satchel appears to be readying an intercept.
So Kandra and I, athletics, acrobatics, stealth through these guys?
I'm thinking either acrobatics or stealth. Probably stealth. It's not like flipping through a razor grid unless it is, but I think for y'all, it's probably just stealth.
Yeah, I pitched 3 things I don't have proficiency in. So.
Awesome.
I got a 13.
How long
Bardic
does that bardic
inspiration.
inspiration
Yeah,
last?
yeah. D8?
D6 still. And if you're using it for an ability check, you have advantage on the Bardic Inspiration dice.
Okay. Advantage on the Bardic Inspiration dice. Ooh, juicy. That's going to be nice. That brings it up to an 18 total. Got a 5
Very
on the
nice.
Inspiration dice.
That's very nice.
Well rolled.
Okay, a few different things happen here. First off, Haribo, you're trying to get through these webs, and you're sort of weaving through and ducking under, and you almost slip again. Your foot like grazes a rock, and suddenly you like, there is a desperate need, and you may not believe in magic, but you've seen whatever it is that Sparkleoneous is doing. You have seen it help your party mates, and so here in this moment, maybe even just a little bit, perhaps.
Yeah. I go to trip and the bubble pops, and then I like regain my balance before I fall into the thread, and it's
And
just
something
like a
else
little
happens here as well.
bit. Ooh.
I don't know how does your belt communicate with you? Do you have like an earpiece, or does it just make sound, or like what's the...
It's an out loud situation, which at this moment I'm not stoked about. But yes, it's an out loud situation. Hey, I might fix that for future events.
Well, here in this out loud situation, as soon as the bubble pops and you like feel that sense of balance regained, the sensors on your belt just flip out. I think with an 18 in your dexterity and your stealth, you're able to like stifle it pretty quick. Like you're able to just sort of scramble to the buttons on your belt and like...
I take off my overalls and I press them over the speaker just so quick.
That may perhaps be the worst way to have done that.
I got my silk underoos on.
Your me undies.
Just got your
My silk me-undies.
me loincloth.
Me boxies. They're old and tattered after my year here, but it's the same.
Oh no, same underwear for a year.
No, Haribo has been very clear.
I did not need it.
No. Haribo has
He's
been
a
very
stanky
clear.
man.
Oh, metaphorical eyes.
No. Haribo has been very clear. The underoos are always in beautiful condition. Not the same pair, very clearly. Awesome.
Yeah, the MeUndies you landed on are for special occasions.
Yeah.
Those are for like, dates. Those are your
road
dates
trip
undies.
My red silk me boxies.
First audio.
Which brings us to our sponsor. Just kidding.
Me boxies.
This episode sponsored by MeUndies, with the special fabric that you love to feel
Cut this.
all over you.
That's why I kept saying me boxies. They're not paying for this. We're not gonna put their name out there. But the more I make
We've
a
been
point of
doing
it,
it a
the more we
bunch.
will. Yeah, I know.
No one liked me loincloth.
No one liked me loincloth. Maybe they will sponsor us after this. Who knows?
Anyways, all the sensors go off and you stifle them, and there's like a moment of silence, and then you hear Kandra say, "Oops."
Fuck Kandra.
Yeah, because the other thing that happened was that Kandra rolled a 3.
Can I just quickly reach out and grab the closest thread? Like, we didn't make it to the node, but
Okay.
you
Yeah,
know, like I know we're not gonna make it the moment she says "oops."
I think in this moment it's going to be time for some initiative.
Is there any bonus we get to being super prepared for there being a combat if we mess this up? Ick. I'd like that
Man.
bonus, please.
I think maybe it's rolling on a tablecloth. I got a nice 18 plus whatever initiative I have.
Ooh, maybe that's
Well, I don't
the
know if that's a
tablecloth
thing.
to roll on.
I'm rolling on my mouse pad and I got a 19.
Let's
So
find
plus
out
my bonus
Margery.
puts me at 24.
Initiative is +3, Margery.
Ooh,
Lovely.
very nice.
I'm rolling digitally, and I got a 14.
I am
Do you have
rocking
any bonuses?
an
Or
8
is
right
that
now.
with bonuses?
How do you feel about that bonus for us being super prepared for combat in case Haribo fucked this up? Even though he didn't. Even though he didn't this time, but he did say before we left, like, be prepared just in case I mess this up.
Well, Thaddeus took it to heart.
So did the gray man. So did Satchel.
I mean, I've got my squeeze horn, which just means that I'm ready for my actual spells.
For the death bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody but Kandra can get like a +3 to their initiative for being ready to go.
Then 11.
27 for Thaddeus.
17 for Sparkleoneous.
21 for Margery.
27.
Well, I rolled a 19 and I have +5, and then with a bonus, that's +8 on a 19.
Oh, what's the
Bonus is +3 right now. So add
Oh.
3 to whatever you got.
Ah, sorry, I'm dumb. 24.
Yeah.
For unfortunately, that's a very easy edit from 21. Kandra
Yeah.
crit failed.
Oh,
Oh
Kandra.
no!
She's all
Fits.
tangled in the fucking threads.
Thanks for thinking of that for me.
No, wait,
Um,
Kandra.
We're gonna have to cut
Our
her out of
guide.
these things that are stronger than
We've got
Bessemer's
Satchel.
steel.
Satchel if we need to.
You know what? I'm on both of our teams. Let's be honest. I'm on everyone's team. Let's.
Satchel was ready for a fight, so he gets the +3, so brings him up to a 5.
What about Gib?
Gib critted.
Woo!
Let's go,
Gib.
Gib.
Gibbs got a 20. Just a 20. I'm not.
Gib's
he doesn't-
never been more ready than for anything in his whole life.
Yeah.
He's ready to do exactly what Margery is telling him to do, and Margery hasn't told him to do anything yet, so he's in the wagon.
But he is in that wagon well with a crit.
He's so in that wagon.
Oh, more in that wagon than anyone ever before.
Should figure out the spiders. That's not a good number either.
You don't have to figure out the spiders. They can just hang out there. We'll take ours and then.
Okay.
They can just watch as we kill them.
Okay. So, based on
He said
this,
okay. He said
then,
okay.
Based on that math, it is Thaddeus that goes first. Thaddeus, you've heard Kandra say, "Whoops," and you see that she has fallen right into a bunch of threads.
Oh boy.
So Haribo's belt is making some noises, albeit muffled, and
Muffled.
there are spiders coming. I think that you see, because you have a bead on one of these spiders that's further up this road, and you see as soon as Kandra falls into the webbing, it springs to attention on its tree.
All right, then I will move towards Kandra to see if I can get her out, or at least defend her while she works her way out.
Okay.
So I don't know
Alright.
that gives me any actions or any attacks this round, but I will get up to where I'm prepared to be of use.
Okay. You move up to Kandra. If you don't want to do anything, I suppose you could ready an action to fire on a spider that makes its appearance, or perhaps you could try and help Kandra untangle herself. Or
Yeah,
something
but-
in that order.
And I'm trying to remember, they told us how strong these webs were, so I don't think I can cut through them, but can I help pull her out?
Well, tensile strength is different than a strong rope at tautness can still be slashed through, right? It could still be used as it could carry 500 pounds, but you hit it with a hard enough blow with a blade specifically, right? I think you're more likely to cut it then.
I think that the way I would resolve that would be by giving the webs themselves a fairly high AC and immunity to bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, and my Warhammer is my preferred. I do have hand axes, so I'm thinking I might just try and
You can try and
pull her free.
manually untangle her.
Yeah.
Do we have a help action? We've got a help action in D&D.
You
And then
can
it
lean
gives
your
them-
aid to another creature in the completion of a task. When you take the help action, the creature you aid gains advantage on the next ability check it makes to perform the task you are helping with, provided
Yep.
that it makes the ability check before the start of your next turn.
Perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So Kandra has advantage on untangling herself, which she will need here at the end of this turn. Let's see, then Margery, you have a 24. What's up?
Are there any the spider that Thaddeus saw spring to attention? Is it looking like it's more inclined to run, or does it look like it's more inclined to fight? Is there a way to tell that in the middle of fighting, or?
All I can give you is the fact that the last one that ran had just taken 17 lightning damage.
Okay, then if I have a clear shot, I'm gonna point my squeeze horn at the
yeah.
spider
She knows.
and and cast Toll of the Undead at the spider. Yeah,
Okay, and that is a
wisdom
save.
saving. Yeah, and I'm hoping these spiders are pretty dumb.
That is a 10 total.
I thought I put that on your character sheet.
I think mine is 12.
Spell save DC is 13.
That's what I thought it was. Yeah. Okay. So you point the squeeze horn just kind of at the woods, and you squeeze it, and it goes. But everyone hears
Don't.
In the woods, as this bell tolls above this spider, and the energy of this ethereal bell sucks into this spider, leaving purplish scarring across its carapace.
You.
Okay, Gib is next, and Gib got a 20. Gib
Fuck yeah,
looks at
Gib.
Margery.
Oh, is there anything that Gib can even do? He can't do anything. Sweet Gib.
Wow.
Okay.
I don't say any of that. I don't say that.
He's got a dagger.
I mean, I just look at Gib and I tell him to be ready, and you got your dagger. You can't.
He's stabby.
Be present. Be mindful.
Yeah.
Okay,
Get ready to slash some tendons.
Grace, I sent your character sheet to the Discord group, just so you know.
Oh, thank you so much.
Of course.
Yeah, okay. Gib draws his dagger and hops out of the wagon and goes and stands near Satchel.
Safe in the wagon, I think, but that works.
If you want me to get stabby, Sparkleoneous, you're in a pot.
Sparkleoneous is going to wheel his way out of the pot and go and stand near Barson at the top of the wagon. And Sparkleoneous is going to say, he's going to get out his horn and he's going to look towards Kandra and he's going to say, Sparkleoneous wanted you to get out of the web, and give her bardic inspiration. And then he's going to cast a vicious mockery on a spider he can see. Hey, you 8-legged bitch. And he's going to have to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh.
I've already established they're not great at that. That's a second 10.
All right, 1d4 psychic damage, which is going to be big 4 for you, and then disadvantage on the next attack.
Oh, okay.
That spider took it really hard.
There are 2 visible spiders currently attacking the closest one or the furthest one?
Closest.
Okay. All right. The closer spider jerks back at your vicious mockery, less about the content than about the tone, and scuttles around the back of the tree and down towards its base. Haribo, you're going to shocking grasp this bundle.
I think that still makes the most sense. Just to try to pop that off, just in case. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, 100%. That's going to be I think that's a 17, but yes, plus 5, 17.
17's a solid roll. I think with a 17, you lurch forward, trying to do this before the spiders are too alert from Kandra's folly, and you grab a bunch of these threads and let fly.
Yes. Oh, damage.
Yeah.
8.
8.
Nice.
That's some
all of it.
good damage.
That's all of it. That's all of it. If there was a number,
So-
that's the one I would choose.
It's a good number. That's a really good number.
I'd choose 1,000.
You'd be wrong because you can only okay, hold on. I didn't put any parameters. So can I choose higher than 8? I already chose 8. You're right. I'll stay with
you
8.
already. Yeah. There are 3 flashes of electricity due to this spell. 2 of them to spiders off the path on either side, and 1 on Kandra.
Oh no. An 8.
I did not think about that. I say as she is smoldering in the threads. Does it burn the threads up as it does it, or does it just shock? Can I do it again?
Damn.
I
Once wasn't
wouldn't
enough
recommend
Kandra.
doing it again. No, it just shocks.
Did it shock Thaddeus because he was touching it? Oh, sorry.
There was no need to go there,
There
Margery.
was no need. Thaddeus
Sorry,
is blaming Margery. Margery's like, why didn't that hurt Thaddeus? And all of a sudden Thaddeus is like, ow, hold on.
Yeah, Thaddeus, take 4 lightning damage.
All right.
Geez, my bad. Sorry.
Oh, it's all good.
You know, better than Kandra's 8. That was like 2/3 of her health right there.
Oh. Kandra, I'm so sorry.
Margery looks impressed.
It's okay. I'll walk it off.
I got the spiders, though. That's a lot. I did it. Probably. I hope.
Goody.
And with that, the spider that you guys can see that took the damage, you guys see it skitter away. In fact, Thaddeus, you see it jumping from tree to tree, leaving a trail of smoke in its wake.
Okay.
The other spider, well, I think at this point, 2 other spiders make an appearance. From 40 feet up the road, a pair of spiders emerge from the trees. One of them is still actively smoldering. They skitter down the road towards you guys underneath all of the threads. The one that is smoldering only makes it like 20 feet towards you guys, but the untouched one skitters down the road and springs at Haribo, clickety-clacking pincers agape.
And it's still a juvenile, right? It's not a giant one. It's a 3-foot
Not
one.
a giant, just a 3-foot one, which is, one hell of a big spider, but not like
Still
a big
terrifying.
spider.
Yeah.
Only a 3-foot spider.
Only a 3-foot
Yeah.
spider. Okay, that's a 21 to hit.
Damn.
Yeah. Take a d6 plus 1 of damage and make a constitution save.
I just watched Romulus, so I'm picturing it attacking his face like a face hugger in my mind.
Awful.
Ooh, that's a 7.
Wow. Max damage.
Ouch.
Facehuggers are only 2 feet across.
I feel like I would have taken the same damage as Haribo.
Psychic damage.
Fuck yeah, that's a nat 20 on the con save. I feel like with that, maybe even some of the belt countermeasures begin to kick in.
Yeah. The spider jumps onto you and its pincers dig into your collarbone, and you're sort of batting at it, and it's biting you, and your belt says foreign substance detected, deploying countermeasures, and it sprays a bunch of antitoxin onto you and the spider. The 2 of you are now in a cloud of green vapor that the belt is trying to spray on you as this is happening. Third, the spider that is closest to you guys, that ducked behind its tree, emerges from the tree line and jumps at Satchel and Gib. Okay.
Oh, Gib. But he was so ready, though, with a 20.
Yeah, the spider has an attack.
Doesn't Gib
Okay.
get a +3 also? Because he was so ready?
I'm pretty sure that
Yeah,
was
but that was to his initiative.
Oh, dang.
So the spider leaps from the underbrush and lands directly onto Gib.
No!
No.
Yeah, Gib screeches and hoots and throws his dagger straight up into the air. But
Musicians.
but Satchel retains his cool and pivots and plunges his dagger directly into the spider's thorax. And instantly, as soon as the tip of the dagger enters the spider, its legs all go rigid and it wriggles and flops still on top of Gib.
Gib, you alright?
Muffled noises of panic, but very alive sounding muffled noises of panic come from beneath the spider.
Are we out of combat?
No?
No.
Oh, there's one more. Okay.
Kandra has to get out of these webs.
Yeah.
And Kandra has advantage on this, even though she was just electrocuted.
And she has Bardic Inspiration on this.
Oh, does she?
Oh yeah, I cast that on her last turn as a bonus action.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, plus a number? We'll see if I need it, I guess.
It's plus a number, and then she can re-roll it.
I think we're going to save that. Because I rolled an 18.
Nice.
So, with Thaddeus assisting, a smoldering Kandra unwinds the last of the webs from her extremities, and she says, "Thank you for your help, Thaddeus."
Yep, now get behind me.
Yep. Haribo, your help. I don't know about that.
What about my help?
What?
I'm sorry,
Don't worry
Kandra. I did
about
not
it.
think about that. I was really excited to do so well with my belt's electricity that I did not think about you being in the bundle.
Yep, you did real good.
Thaddeus, it's your turn.
All right. So I've helped Kendra up and she's moved behind me. So there's a spider attacking Haribo, correct?
There is a spider attacking Haribo. There is another spider 20 feet further down the road from Haribo. Those are the last two spiders.
I'm going to attack the one that's actually attacking Haribo, and we'll deal with the other one when it shows up.
Okie doke.
Yep,
Make
and
an
I'm basic-
acrobatics check.
Acrobatics. Oh, that'll be fun. All right, hang on. Acrobatics. That is a.
Haribo's out in the webs now.
Oh, I'm glad that was a good roll because I didn't really want to end up in the web. That's a.
You know I'll shock those webs.
That's a 17 because I have no bonuses on acrobatics. So that was a straight 17 roll.
Nice. I mean, Thaddeus, you know that there aren't any spiders attached to these webs at this point, that they're more of a hazard than anything. So you duck underneath some of them, but most of them you like wind your hand into and like yank the bundles off of their trees so that all the lines go slack. And you sort of like clear a path as you make your way to Haribo.
All right.
Yeah, there's a spider on him though.
Well, I'm going to swing with my Warhammer in an attempt to knock it back and away from Haribo. And that's a grand total of 15 to hit.
15 hits.
Ooh, all right. So now let's do some damage. Since I'm pulling down spider webs with one hand, I'm just going to use that as a one-handed attack. And that is 6 points of damage.
Nice.
And I think that's it for me for this round.
Spider's gonna make a save to try and stay attached to Haribo. He sure does. But you put an exceptional dent in the spider's carapace, and its grip on Haribo certainly loosens. I think Haribo, you will have advantage on the next thing that you try and do about this spider.
Cool. I love that.
Excellent.
Let's see, then Margery, you are up.
All right. How far away is the situation with Haribo and Thaddeus?
Haribo and Thaddeus are about 20 feet from you, and the spider that's not in combat with them is about 40 feet from you.
I guess I'm going to cast another squeeze horn at the one that is 40 feet from me.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay.
Does it save?
Have you looked up?
Yeah, it does.
Squeeze
It rolled a 17.
Uh-oh.
It's a smart spider.
I guess the spell is not called Squeeze Horn. Sorry, Toll of the Dead.
I'm casting Squeeze Horn.
I cast Squeeze Horn. Honestly, I might need to make a wisdom saving throw at this point.
Dang. Well, beans.
Well, then the only thing that happens is the Squeeze Horn squeezes. It is perhaps anticlimactic. Gib shoves the dead spider off of him and stands up and looks around. I think he follows Thaddeus. He follows in the wake of cleared webs that Thaddeus has made. And he tries to just jam his dagger into this spider that's on Haribo.
Hell yeah, Gib.
Hell yeah, Gib. That's a hit.
Hell yeah, Gib. Margery is so proud. He might get a jar of spiders tonight.
Dealing 4 stab damage into this spider.
This is
Hell
how
yeah.
you level up, Gib.
Is Gib getting a jar of spiders as a reward or a punishment?
Reward.
No one can really
obviously.
tell, but Margery keeps calling it a reward.
Gib might eat them. Who knows? He might have
This
a
is your
plan.
just desserts.
And dinner and breakfast.
Your just breakfasts.
Sparkleoneous, you're up.
Sparkleoneous is going to slurp down off of the top of the wagon over to Kandra. And Sparkleoneous is going to lean down to Kandra and say, "The healing word of today is toast, because that's what you were." And then he's going to touch her and heal her for a grand total of... 11.
Wow. That is more damage than she took.
Fit as a fiddle.
I was a toast? Oh, because I was smoking
get
or
it.
something.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
All right, now get back out there, champ. And Sparkleoneous is
okay.
going to cast Bardic Inspiration on Kandra.
Clap her on the back with the old go get him.
The old goopy get him.
The old goopy goppy get him.
Okay, Kandra's fired up and ready for battle. Haribo, that makes it your turn.
There's still a spider on my face.
There's a spider on you. He's not hugging you as tightly as he was because he's been stabbed and hit.
I'm just gonna punch him. My belt surges up and my fist surges with some energy.
Oh yeah, take advantage on that attack because he's like right in there with you. You've basically just got like a 1-inch punch to do here.
Cool. right now in the form that it is, it's whenever I hit with my fists, it deals 1d8 thunder damage. So it's not lightning damage, I know that, but this thing is on my face, and a loud boom I feel like also may help in this case. That is going to be a 12 to hit though.
That's not gonna, even with advantage?
Oh, I have advantage, I forgot. Yes, even with advantage.
Oh no.
Well,
He's gonna punch himself in the fucking noggin, man.
Thaddeus, you see Haribo's fist shoot out from between two of the spider's legs, and something happens on the end of it. You see like a burst of something, some sort of force or something. You see the leaves on the trees at the side of the road behind Haribo's fist like ruffle.
That's just weird.
The spider that has heretofore stayed back is gonna advance until he's pretty close to this little knot of folks, and he's going to veer up and spray webbing over everybody. Thaddeus, Haribo, Gib, dexterity saves.
No, that's one of Thaddeus's favorites.
Haribo, you may, I think, need to make this with disadvantage.
I
because you're
agree with
covered in
that.
Spider.
I agree with that. Couldn't get worse than that. No, it sure couldn't.
It's like the log all over again.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was critically bad for my entire life. This is just some webs.
There was also a spider on your
For
face.
Thaddeus.
What spider? I am too terrified to imagine that. I have to pull up my character sheet because I got so bad that I need whatever bonus I can get. So give me just one moment.
Yeah, no, go for it.
Dexterity save, you say?
I did.
Oh, that's a 7.
Okay. Thaddeus, you got a 15. Gib got a 19.
That
So
was
the
a
both of
16
you.
for me.
Oh, a 16. Even better. The both of you dive out of the way of this web, but Haribo and the spider are sort of doing this staggery dance around, and they get web all over them. Which I think is probably going to hamper both of their attacks. I think that is true. I think that the spider is also not
Yeah,
psyched
I'd like to
about
make sure that
having-
we're like webbed together now, you know?
Yeah, that is the case of what has happened. The two of you have been joined in this union. And I think so. Then the spider will make an attack on you with disadvantage. That is a 12. The fangs skirch off of your battle armor, and you can feel its legs tapping against you, like against your back, trying to get free. Satchel,
It may not have hurt
Has-
me physically, but it definitely hurt me mentally.
Yeah,
I don't
this
like
is just
spiders.
this is just nightmare fuel.
we're making good memories here as a band. Satchel has gotten his wineskin out and is re-dipping his dagger. And Kandra's gonna fire off a bolt of magic. Yeah, that hits. That hits. She shoots an arc of blue fire up and over Haribo and Thaddeus and Gib and down onto the spider that was spraying webs at them, setting that spider entirely ablaze. And that spider collapses, still on fire. Thaddeus,
Yes.
you have advantage, I think, on attacks against this spider now that he's webbed to Haribo. If you do
Excellent.
bad on this attack, despite the advantage, you are going to hit Haribo with your big hammer.
Oh boy. All right.
The same will go for Gib on his turn.
Well, that would be a 22 to hit with advantage.
Nice.
And because I'm now not messing with strings, I can now do this as a two-handed attack. So I'm going to smack
Haribo, hold real still.
it. Yeah, don't move. I got this. That
The
is going
inertia
to
from
be.
the spider corpse hitting the ground
I
is going to
believe
take
in you.
Haribo with him.
That is
believe in you.
9 points of damage. That's 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Margery, I assume that you're going to fire off another spell at this spider?
Yep.
Do so. I suppose I just have to make a save.
Yes.
That's not going to do it. That's an 11, so hit me with that D12.
Hit me like that, Bell.
That is 4.
Dang, that is exactly the number I needed.
Hell yeah, kill that spider.
So, Haribo, you're covered in web and spider.
Dreams do
But-
come true. Sorry, nightmares. Nightmares do come true.
Join a band, kids, and all your dreams will come true. But you see, you have enough time in the flurry of waving legs and clacking mandibles
Do you hear the
see-
squeeze?
to see Thaddeus square up with a big baseball all-star hit swing, and it just crushes into the spider. And you feel the spider impacts against your chest, and you feel something in the spider go. But this hit is enough to like send you sprawling down onto the ground with the spider on top of you. And as you hit the ground, you hear the bell toll again, and you even hear a little tiny squeeze horn. And the spider twitches and writhes, and perhaps you can feel the underside of it like shrivel up and shrink into itself as it goes still.
Haribo is no longer living the good life.
The plate on its head, the black plate, pops off and like bonks against your head as it falls onto the ground.
Like a piece of armor, or like oh, okay. Just making sure. I guess it wasn't a robot. For some reason, my brain was like robot, but
Robot would be really interesting. You guys aren't ready to fight robots yet.
yeah, it was like, I mean, there's a lot of things that could say robot here, but in the end, they could also say like natural, and that's okay. I'm gonna pick that up and just like put that to the side for now.
Still think this was worth the 12 hours?
I mean, I got whatever this is, and I shake the plate around. Plus, we can take
Piece
their
of the
feet.
Therapist. Yeah.
Their feet are like gold, I've been told, and I like gold, so...
Haribo, you're a freak.
Also, we can make rope from all their twines. Like, we could spend 12 hours making some really good shit from the stuff we get after we kill this last spider, and I point at the last spider.
So you're a feet guy and you're going to make rope out of their shit?
I just
Sure.
look at him with like the lines that are definitely on his face from the spider gripping his face. I just shake my head like, well, it didn't happen to me, so I go and pat Gib on the head and say, you did
Isn't there
good.
still a live spider? Aren't we still fighting?
No.
No, that was the last one.
Oh, okay. Haribo goes to dissecting these spiders for materials.
Gross.
I'm going
That's-
to
are
not
you
watch
kidding me?
that.
I'm saying gross.
It's conductive. Haribo is so excited. He's like even trying to talk about the mechanics behind what he's about to do, but
I
it's
don't
going
know
over
what
everyone's head,
conductive
including mine.
means.
Okay.
Like a song? I already made that joke.
Thaddeus, when we were doing market day, were you given a harvester's kit? Is that a thing that I remember?
Yes, I was
The
from the strange merchant where I got the ooze essences.
Nice. Okay. None of you have proficiency with this kit, but I will, just by dint of having it, give you guys like a +2 to checks for harvesting these spiders.
Nice. So, what skill would you put that under?
The ability will either be wisdom or dexterity.
Survival
I mean, it's a tool
or
use.
sleight of hand?
It's a tool use check because you've got harvester's tools in the same
Oh,
way
sure.
that you would use
Right,
like
right.
these tools or whatever.
So wisdom without proficiency, but +2.
Yes.
Okay.
Or you said I could do a dex check?
Yes, with the same stats.
Nat 20.
That's
Wow.
good because from the other side, from the wisdom side, I got a nat 6.
Oh,
Even
God.
with 5, it's like an 11. So I like go in and you're like, no.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Let me take care of this.
Okay, so Haribo goes in and starts to sort of make a mess. And Thaddeus is like, no. I'll do this.
All I need is the feet, and he's just like hacking off a foot.
I think with a nat 20, a division of labor is achieved here, where Thaddeus is going to pull apart the spiders that Margery didn't kill, and Haribo is going to pull all of the armor plates off of the ones that she desiccated, because they've been like loosened from their carapace.
Can I utilize any of that natural 20 to have Thaddeus help in getting these threads down to make like rope out of? Or can
I think what you get, you can definitely pull these threads down, and with an 11, you can weave them into kind of a shitty rope. Thaddeus, as you are taking apart these spiders with a crit 20, I will give you 3 vials of spider venom.
Right.
I will give you enough of the fuzzy foot, the golden plating, to make 1 piece of gear out of it. And for the crit 20, you also come out with 2 intact spinneret glands.
Ooh, all right.
Which I don't know that you know a use for them per se, but they're definitely one of the things that make these spiders unique. Maybe Haribo can do something with them. Maybe the ooze essence merchant can do something with them.
Yeah.
You have potentially the ability to create more of this thread.
Fascinating. I will give 1 to Haribo to play with. I will put the other one in a bag with all the other bits.
He immediately starts playing with that and the rope. He's so excited.
What is Satchel doing?
Is he
Being
gone?
watched by Sparkleoneous.
Satchel, at the conclusion of this fight, he carefully scrapes his dagger against the lip of his wineskin and stows both of those. And then I think he goes over and like kneels next to one of the spiders and like bows over it and whispers something to it.
Can I see if I can record that? And I can like play it back and try to enhance it later? Can I just hit record on my belt right now?
No, you're busy playing with a spider gland.
Totally fair. Totally
Gross.
fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Sparkleoneous, you said that you were closely watching him. I think you can make a check to see if you can pick any of this up.
All right, I will. What kind of check would you like? Perception?
Perception's probably the one to go here.
21.
Noise.
Ow.
Those are some keen pebbles.
Yeah.
I can hear with my whole
The pebbles
body.
are spinning in place. That's how you know he's focusing.
Okay. I think you hear the words, "Thank you for your sacrifice." And then I also think you hear that all our hopes can come true.
Sparkleoneous just start weeping.
Sparkleoneous shivers with his whole body.
Then he straightens up and he says, "Well, that sure was exciting, but we'd best get a move on before something else comes, maybe alerted by the ruckus."
Yeah, let's use that saved 12 hours.
Absolutely. Let's get a move on here.
Not so bad, Haribo says, scratching a spider wound on his face.
Actively bandaging a spider bite.
Man, those itch too.
You all get back into the wagon. Barson giddies up Stuve, and you set back out. And using your hard-won 12 hours, you reach the end of the woods. You see the mountain up close for the first time coming out of these woods. And I think as far as mountains go, it's pretty nondescript. It has scattered trees going up the sides of it up to a point, and then there is some bare rock, and then ice and snow. And in this portion between the scattered trees and the bare rock, you see a settlement. It's off in the distance, so really all that you can see is a stone wall with torches set at regular intervals on top of it. But as you get closer and as night falls, you see that those torches must be some of many. Bright firelight radiates out from behind these stone walls up on this mountain, throwing into relief a large, sort of haphazardly constructed looking stone tower that rises over the walls. And I think that is the view in front of you. Kandra says that it'll only take perhaps 3 hours in the wagon to arrive there tomorrow.
Tomorrow, perfect. I was gonna say, I don't think it would be ideal. We approach in the evening.
Certainly, yeah. Their guard's going to be well up for night approaches.
And I could use some rest and some healing before we get to that point.
Oh, sure. And the spider bite is kind of swollen up. He says, I have to take care of this.
One eye
Like
is
a giant goiter on the side of your neck.
I'm just curious if when we make camp, if that's what we're doing, if Haribo can check into his belt at all, like do any sort of, I don't know, what's it called? I don't remember. Diagnostics. It has never gone off like that in battle before.
Yeah, for sure. Now that you've got like a downtime moment and perhaps fewer observing eyes watching you, I think that, yeah, Haribo can get the belt into like diagnostics mode, or he can like view the notifications to figure out what it was that this belt detected. And
How many notifications do I have? If I could, I didn't know I could view the noties. How many noties do I have?
You have 700 new messages.
No unread messages.
Fuck, none. Hold on, both of those are bad. 700 too many. Zero? Aw.
I do think that 700 is closer to the right answer, simply because for a long time your belt was throwing up messages of its inability to connect to the primary network just throughout your time being here.
a year's worth of messages.
That's a whole podcast in itself. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Once you've like cleared all of those notifications away, the most recent one was that it detected a unique energy signature that it has sampled and stored within it during the use of your bardic inspiration. And when you open this notification, you see sort of a spectrographic readout of what this energy signature was. And the interesting thing that you see about this is that the spectrographic readout, they're usually just like pictures, but this one sort of seems to be more like a GIF in that it is moving. Like the spectrograph shifts and changes, and there's a button there that just says analyze.
Yeah, definitely. And he presses the button and watches intently.
It switches from analyze to analyzing, and the belt sort of powers down into number crunching mode, basically.
Is there any way that I can scan through those messages while it's doing that for any more messages where people were like others were trying to reach me? You know, like has it received any incoming messages in all of those noties? That's a lot of noties to go through, so that's like fine for as he sits by the fire just to like scan through these noties. But
honestly, yeah, I'm really into that. I've got some thoughts, and I'll talk to you about that after the podcast.
Next time on Dungeons and Dragons, he goes through his email inbox.
Yeah. One episode of each nodie.
Our 6 Slice of Life podcast, the most exciting shit. Haribo goes through his emails.
Haribo reads
You can't get action like this in any other podcast.
Emails.
Adventure Zone could never.
They wouldn't even dare to go there.
Does Haribo remember that I told him that Gib gave his statue to Satchel?
When did you tell me that? Because Haribo remembers everything that happened inside of the chief's hut, but nothing that happened outside of the chief's hut. And I think you told me that outside of the chief's hut, so no.
You did tell him that while he was drunk.
Is there a moment that I can tell him now?
Make a stealth check.
That's a 12. I don't know what my...
Well, what's my passive perception? Do I have a passive? I mean, everyone has a passive.
You've got a +3 to stealth.
Woo! Okay, so that's 15.
I don't think my passive perception is that high. It's +3, that's 13 now. I'm probably just lost in my noties.
Do you have goggles that come with this, or does it like give a graphic display for you?
I think after the event where it was out loud, he has the night goggles on, and I feel like with the night goggles, it can go to the screen in the night goggles, as well as like audio to like a band to the side. It's not like super in his ear, but it is more personalized.
Yeah, closer to a speakerphone than like a
speaker
phone ring or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're like lost in the sauce of all this, and then you get a tap on the shoulder, and you peek up the goggles, and there's Margery.
Margery. Sorry, I was going through notifications.
That's a lot of noties there, man.
There's a ton of noties. The belt has been the belt has been going through some weird stuff lately. I got some.
You need to check your noties, man. That's too many noties.
I literally got all 756 of them today, and I've been going through it. It's just a lot of noties. Some of them are just alerts, but I'm curious if there's any. What if people have been trying to reach me, Margery?
I guess there's only one way to find out. Is to look through your noties. But
I gotta go through the noties. Yeah.
Noties aside, how much do you remember from last night? You were fucked up.
I mean, I vaguely recall our experiences in the chief's hut where we talked and met Satchel and talked about his feet, which you told me were dogs. Like, I did not know what happened when I woke up, and you were talking about barking dogs and satchels, and I feel like you could have spoken a little bit more directly. We had time.
Hey, I was fighting. I was on my own out there. Anyway, besides the point, I saw Gib give some statue to Satchel, like he was under a spell. And I kind of like peek around to make sure that and we're still good. Does that mean anything to you? A statue? I hadn't seen it before. It's black.
Shiny too.
Yes.
With
very
ram's
shiny.
horns.
And it was in your inventory.
A black.
Well, I don't know that, but I'm asking him.
I think you do know that. I think you saw me find it at the waterfall.
Did I?
No, you found it. Did Margery come with you to fight Ironbones?
I mean,
It was me,
brought
Margery,
that
and
gift.
Thaddeus. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then Margery, you did see that.
Okay, he gave him your statue. The statue you found.
The found
black-
statue.
The black one that you stole. I guess found is the wrong word.
Haribo starts reaching into his belt and pulling out random like knickknacks, like a light bulb and like a lampshade and like just like random shit. And he's like, that little lizard. What was he doing with my statue? I don't even know what the statue was for, but it was really pretty. It had ram's horns.
Yes, the ram's horns were nice. But the point is, he was under some kind of control, a spell. Something was controlling him, and he gave it to Satchel. So now Satchel has it, or
Margery,
had it.
in every instance we have given him, except in the very last. Nope, that's when he did the ram's horns thing. In every instance we have given Gib, I whisper, he has kind of let us down. Is this still a path you want to go down? Because he's stealing from us, Margery, and he's helping out Satchel.
I'm saying he may not have had a choice. I'm saying that we should keep a very, very close eye on any Gib Satchel interactions, because he might still be able to have control over Gib.
And Haribo's putting his lampshade and his light bulb back into his belt, and he says, I'll be keeping a close eye on my stuff around Gib from now on.
And you guys look to your right, and you see Sparkleoneous watching Satchel.
Just dead staring at him.
Sparkleoneous is like in the pot next to him, but you can see Sparkleoneous' form just sort of like arched out of the pot, just like looking over at Satchel's shoulders.
Just the pebbles.
Satchel has rolled himself a cigarette and is casually smoking it while writing in a journal.
And he smokes?
Oh man, if I didn't have a billion noties to go through, I would go talk to him. But boy, do I have some noties to hit. And he like raises the glasses.
And with the various dings and whistles of Sparkleoneous going through his noties, Haribo, that is the word.
I'm all caught up on my noties.
With the dings and whistles of Haribo going over his noties, camera pans up and fades to black, looking at the stars and the mountain and the flickering firelight of our next destination. Next episode of Wilhelm's Hole.
Oh, damn. Thanks for joining us on episode 21 of A Wider World, DM'd by Theodore Stringer. The players this episode are Lawrence Jennings as Sparkleoneous, Grace Stringer as Margery Ridgeback, Mike Harrison as Thaddeus Ofkoot, and myself, M. Williams, as Haribo Tamagotchi. Make sure to leave a review and rate the podcast on whichever service you're using to listen in from. Each one goes straight to help us grow a bit more. If you want to appear as an NPC in our show, go out and tweet about an episode using the DDAD podcast hashtag for your chance to be included. The next episode will be out on November 28th. We'll see you then.
Because maybe I could access Legend Keeper from my phone and then actually see what stuff I have when I want it.
If you ever need a gallon ceramic jar of red paint.
So
And I know I've got a jar of spiders. I know I've got that. But these are
the second jar of spiders, because I thought you opened the jar of spiders.
I've got 2 jar of spiders.
Okay.
I think she found a crate of spiders as loot, and I think I gave her a jar of spiders as like a goal reward.
Quest item. Quest reward.
I woke up and there was a jar of spiders underneath my pillow.
From the jar of spiders fairy. The worst fairy.
They're actually like my work bonuses from Zogmoth.
Ooh, I love that.
That's pretty juicy, actually.
If I do a good job, I wake up to a jar of spiders somehow beneath my pillow.
Hate that that's the always reward.
Just imagine what'll be in the jar whenever you go and figure out what's wrong with Wilhelm's hole. Dungeons, Drive-Ins, and Dice, Wilhelm's hole.
Yep.
A wider
That's the problem
world.
with trying to title the series like before you start. We would have known it should have been called Wilhelm's Hole if we could have, titled it 16 episodes in.